Sometimes I wonder, where exactly did oxygen, carbon dioxide, and the other gases come from? Were they always present on Earth, or were they created through some specific process? When I read about this, I discover that their story is ancient, spanning billions of years. When the universe first began, only two elements were formed initially, hydrogen and helium. At that time, there was no oxygen, no carbon, and no nitrogen. Then gradually, massive stars began to form within the universe. When I contemplate the stars, I realize that they are, in essence, the factories for the very elements that constitute our world. Inside stars, there exists immense heat and pressure. It is precisely because of this that hydrogen atoms fuse together to create new elements. Through this process, elements such as carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen are formed. When a massive star reaches the end of its life and explodes, an event scientists call a supernova, it scatters all these elements throughout the vast expanse of space. When I think about the Earth, I realize that our planet, too, is composed of these very same dispersed elements and dust. In its early stages, the Earth was characterized by intense volcanic activity, and the gases emitted from these volcanoes formed the planet's primordial atmosphere. At that time, the air was rich in carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and water vapor, but oxygen was almost entirely absent. Then, approximately 2.5 billion years ago, microscopic organisms living in the oceans initiated a remarkable process known as photosynthesis. I am astonished to realize that it was these very tiny organisms that began converting carbon dioxide into oxygen. Gradually, this very oxygen filled the atmosphere, and today, it is this same air that we breathe to survive. In this way, I realize that the story of our air, too, begins with the stars and extends all the way to the microscopic organisms of the ocean.